Hello, guys. I'm going to be talking about revolutions and power. So, my name is Danny Pacera. Let's go ahead and get started. So, revolution. So, what do you think about when we talk about revolution? Do you think about war? Do you think about what's best for the people? Do you think about solidarity? Or to end tyranny? So, as we see here, we clearly see how revolution has been a part of our past, but we are in the future. So, out with the old and with the new. Let's talk about the new. So, modern revolution. When we speak about modern revolution, I like to think what's going on right now. When we speak about Palestine, we are also speaking about the injustices happening all over the world and even outside our own doors in our neighborhoods. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, I want to take a look at symbols in revolution, about the powers that go on in revolutions, from the people who are doing the revolution to the people who are trying to, from the community or the government that they're trying to revolutionize. So we're going to be talking about their actions, and we're going to be talking about the collective memory of the people. So, civically engaged. So, when we talk about civically engaged, why do we engage? So, these are some of the many reasons that we engage. So, these are just some of the common ones: unfair wages, dangerous working conditions, unconstitutional laws, corrupted government, to become more aware of social situations, to get the trust of people, to inform the community, to create a stronger community, and of course, there are many more reasons why people civically engage. So, I'm going to be talking about the semiotics of power. So, power has many meanings, from a power source, like we see down here, on and off button, to a similar meaning strength. Right here, someone who is strong physically. But the two main meanings of power that I would be focusing on is power over people. As we see here, in the bottom we see people, the working class. Then we have, I would say, managers, then CEOs, and then I would say millionaires and billionaires. And then, of course, we have money, like I mentioned right here. Focusing on power over people or influence with money, and power of the people. As we see here with the fist, represents power of the people, solidarity. So when we talk about power, we're going to be talking about power over the people with influence and money. I'll be talking about the epistemology of greed. So greed is said to be a part of being human. It's one of the sins. Greed, or another word for greed, avarice, is intense, selfish desire for something. Greed is not only connected to money, you can also have greed for food, status, material. Yet, when I think about greed, I think about money. As we see here in this picture, we see this person who has obviously overindulged himself with money, coins, or gold, and it still looks like he wants more, even though he has enough to fulfill at least 10 lifetimes or even more. As we see down here, we see Mr. Krabs. The only thing in his mind is money, 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 me money. So as I said before, avarice is just another word for greed. Once you begin to commit yourself to greed, you start to have no consideration for anyone or anything around you. So you commit yourself to obtaining everything, and you start losing your sense of humanity. As we see here in this picture, we see someone who has 10 tentacle-like hands grabbing everything around them, and it looks like he still wants more or hasn't had enough. Like maybe he's about to grow another arm to get some more stuff. And right here we have an amulet of avarice. I put this here because it comes from a game called RuneScape. In this game, it incorporates the meaning of avarice in their game. This amulet right here lets you deal more damage and gaining better loot, but it also risks you also risk losing everything if you die. So right here I added a picture of Jeff Bezos, and as you can see, this time his net worth was 197 billion, and as this poster right here informs us, that's 1.6 million times the wealth of the median U.S. household. That is crazy. Right here I added, do we really need billionaires or even millionaires if they are not being ethical with that much money? Well, people like Jeff Bezos keeps getting thousands of dollars every second. His workers are being underpaid and overworked. This man gets thousands of dollars every second, while it takes his workers hours, not even hours, days, a whole week maybe, to get $1,000. That is insane. That is not right. So the reason why I added Jeff Bezos is because him, companies like his, and even the government view people as cogs in a machine that need to be worked no matter the condition, as long as there is profit for them. No matter the condition, no matter if we're overworked, no matter what. As we see here, we're just going and going and going while they're just making profit off of us. So, like I said, no matter the condition. So, this is the shirtwaist factory fire. So, in this occasion, this situation, this led to deaths. So, this happened in March of 25th, 1911. So these factories were filled from corner to corner, wall to wall, elbow to elbow, back to back with workers. These workers made little to nothing and were being overworked. The factory was on the top floor and they were unable to escape because the management locked their doors, not because of the fire, but because they just wanted everybody to stay inside and just work them to the bone. And that eventually led them to their death. And when we talk about this incident, we can talk about OSHA, which was enacted to try and bring fatalities, injuries, or illnesses down in the workplace. But when we talk about OSHA, we also talk about other places that we buy our products from. So OSHA has been around for 50 years, but even though we have these laws, for some workplaces the government neglects other places. For examples, are companies that have warehouses in other parts of the world but are sold in the US despite the horrible working conditions ethical? That does not seem ethical to me. If you're going to be selling stuff in the US, you should have ethical working conditions no matter what. Another loophole or another horrible thing is forced labor in prisons. In prisons where they are forced to labor for free. So even though we might have something like OSHA that looks out for the working people of America, did we really change anything? Are we being ethical when we say we provide a safe working environment in America, but instead of providing fair pay, we underpay people elsewhere? So this image right here is from a warehouse in Shein, and as you can see, it looks really unsafe. It looks like there could be accident at any point, it's just not a fair working condition. So when we talk about power, just like I mentioned with OSHA, did we really change anything? Did we really change anything when they enacted the 13th Amendment? As we see here, it says neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as punishment for crime, whereas the party shall be duly convicted shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. So did they really change anything with the 13th Amendment? As we see here in this picture, we see somebody behind bars with only a money sign as their body. So, still talking about power, the people understand who the government really works for, and that's money. Money is in their minds. So right here we have a gift that says involuntary servitude is slavery and slavery is wrong. Because the people know the government works only for money, no matter if they have to imprison people to have free labor. As we see here in this other picture, we see people rallying together, people going out to the streets to demand the abolition of prisons, because they know that it's just another institution that provides free labor, that takes advantage of people and takes advantage of mostly people of color. So when we talk about power, we also need to talk about power of the people. As we see down here in my bottom right corner, we see that it has a picture and has the words, the power of the people is much stronger than the people in power. As we see here in this other picture, we see people right here who are holding up politician or the speaker for the people, and we see one person just climbing down, meaning if we all climb down or if they don't speak for the people, that we have the power to just drop them and choose somebody else. As more and more people start to understand that the most politicians are bought by corporations, the faster we create people power. So I'm going to be talking about collective memory. Even though we do have our own lives with different individual problems, we also live in the same society. So we have many problems that are collective problems. I'm going to be talking about mostly the social problems that we have, because that's when more and more people come together and realize of the injustices that are going around us, and that's when more of a actual change happens. As we see now, power of the people really has power, people power. So individually we don't have power, but together we have the power to bring down even the corporations that have been there since childhood, when the collective memory of everyone is aligned. So in the bottom right here we have two other people boycotting Starbucks. It's pretty much a cheer to everybody who is sticking together and not providing money for more genocide. As we see here in this other picture, we see imagery of the McDonald's arch as bombs and going down on the children of Gaza. And that's pretty much what's happening, because they've shown that they are in support, and that's why the people are coming together to boycott McDonald's, Starbucks, anybody who supports the genocide going on right now. And finally, as the background, no justice, no peace. So there's justice everywhere. There's not going to be any peace. Thank you.